What if you had loan officers, team members, and referral partners coming to you and asking if they can work with you? Well, that's what we can do if we're creating leadership and business development content. So that's what we're going to talk about today. We're going to touch a little bit on how to grow your business using internal types of content ideas. Now, this obviously isn't um, every idea or everything that you can possibly do. But again, I want to reiterate, like I do with all of these podcasts, which, by the way, welcome to the next episode of the Second Opinion Loan Officer podcast. And what we are talking about today is using content to grow your business. We're going to talk about 3 different areas of your business that you can grow, and I'm going to give you some content ideas, some ideas to, again, I'm not telling you what to do. I'm trying to share with you things that I've done and things that are possible so that I can get your juices flowing. I want you to see what other people are doing. And I want you to think outside the box, just think in a different way. So I'm hoping that by sharing some of this information, it'll give you 1 or 2 ideas, but better yet, I'm hoping that this is going to allow you to come up with an even better idea than what I'm sharing. And hopefully you'll share that back with me or back with the community that we're building here around being second opinion loan officers. So let's dive into this. So let's start with growing your team. Now, how can you use content to grow your team? First of all, you can use content marketing to bring attention to the opportunities that your team offers with content marketing. So what that basically means is if you're creating video content, um, if you're creating video content to other loan officers or whoever you're trying to attract, most likely it's originators. It's either loan officers or loan partners or things like that. Now, it's important that you understand where you aim your message. If you're going after loan officers or loan originators, you're probably looking at LinkedIn. LinkedIn is a really good place for both referral partners and other mortgage professionals. So that's probably a good place to do this content. You'll use trust assets. You can use video or you can use blogs for this. If you have a blog, if you have like a recruiting blog or why you should work with me, I think that's a great idea. And then the content topics, you talk about your culture, you talk about your values, you talk about your performance, you talk about why the business that you're building is unique and why somebody would want to work with you. What kinds of content you're talking about, your values and your vision. You're giving insight and expertise. Remember, people aren't going to work for you because of the name of your company. Most people are going to want to work for you because they know you, they know, like, and trust you because they're watching your videos. They understand what your vision is. They can read, they know what your values are. They have insight as to why you're in the mortgage business. What is your motivation for it? Do you have a great story? What are you an expert in? Like, what do you love to do? If you are a veteran and you love helping veterans and you're creating content about why you're so passionate about the veteran community, you're going to attract referral partners that are probably veterans or like to work with veterans, or you're going to attract employees that are veterans or that are passionate about veterans. That's an example. And then when you're genuine and transparent, again, this is the know, like, and trust part. When you're just you, I don't know if this is your first podcast that you've seen. I don't know if you're watching this or if you're listening to this, but I'm not perfect. Um, I screw up all the time and I just power through. But you know what? This is me. This is my genuine and transparent self. So, for instance, for me, this is business building content, right? Because I have a done for you solution that I can help you create content, and I can help introduce you to people that have a second opinion. I can give you mortgage leads and help you generate your own mortgage leads. Uh, so that's kind of what I'm doing. And if you watch enough of these, you're going to kind of get to know this Scott guy, and you're going to say, yeah, he's a little dorky, but he's genuine. That's just who he is. So if you know, like, and trust, you're going to listen to the message. So if you're watching this podcast, or if you're listening to this podcast and any of this is resonating with you, you are experiencing what I'm talking about when I'm talking about creating content to build your business, right? My business just happens to be this around teaching originators how to create content, because I was originator for over 20 years, and I primarily did consumer direct content marketing. So because I'm sharing that, my insight and my expertise, and let's even go to values and vision. I don't know if you've seen this before, but the whole reason why this is called the Second Opinion Loan Officer Podcast is because I have identified a huge opportunity of online consumers that have questions about qualifying for a mortgage, but they go online and they get caught in a call center. I call these telemortgagers. These companies spend billions of dollars a year to convince consumers that the way that you qualify, or the way that you get your questions answered about qualifying for a mortgage, is you fill out this lead form, and then we dump you in some call center somewhere in Detroit, and some kid who's sitting in a cubicle that joined the mortgage industry 6 months ago. That's what I'm passionate about. I do all of this because I'm trying to empower you as a loan officer to share your expertise, your experience, to get out there so that we can keep online consumers out of call centers. And quite frankly, I think the online consumer prospect pool, is the largest source for our future pipeline that exists in today's market, and for the future, for the next 12, 24 months. It's going to be a home buyer's market, and they are going to be online. So that's why I do this. So that's like a real time example. That's a real life example of how this translates. So I'm not so you can see where this goes. Uh, do I do paid or organic, right? So paid or organic traffic, what we're talking about on paid or organic traffic is, do I create these videos and then do I pay to run ads and put them in front of the people that I want? The answer is yes. It's both. You absolutely want to do both. The organic stuff is your social media stuff, the stuff you put on LinkedIn, the stuff you put on your Facebook wall with your network or whatever. That's your organic content. Paid traffic is actually, I have quite a few people in the network that are doing this. And what they're doing is they're creating the content, and they are uploading a custom audience of referral partners, or they're uploading a custom audience of mortgage originators, and we're only showing those videos to that custom audience of people. So paid and organic, the answer is always yes. Whenever given an option, you want to always try to go for yes. Grow your production. Okay, now let's talk about that's building your team. Let's talk about growing your production. If you have a competent team, like if you have a good team behind you and you have your loan partners or assistants, it's time to ramp up your Rainmaker role. And what your Rainmaker role looks like is you, instead of you being the primary originator on your team. Now, if that's how you want to grow your business, that's perfectly fine. I'm not talking about that necessarily, but if you want to build a team and you get really good at creating content and you create this inbound flow of traffic of consumers that already know, like, and trust you, you can start putting more of your time and effort into creating that content to generate those opportunities, and then hand those opportunities off to your team. So this example, the example of growing your team really positions you as a support system, or a support system, or as the Rainmaker, as the generator of opportunity. And that opportunity can be consumers, it can be real estate agents that want to partner up with you, it can be any other referral partners that you have. Rainmaker content. So you can do consumer direct content, and that's what most of what we talk about here on the podcast is consumer direct content. So if you're the one that's creating all the consumer direct content, what you're basically doing is you're saying, if you have any questions, reach out to me. I'm going to introduce you to somebody on my team that I know, like, and trust that can absolutely help you answer these questions. So that's how I create content on the Find My Way Home Expert Network. When I create content, I'm not saying that I can answer your questions. I'm saying that my team is competent and they can answer your questions. So that's a subtle shift in messaging. You can attract new team members. Now, new team members coming on. Every time you bring on a new team member, you bring on their production. That's a Rainmaker activity. So if you right now don't have the time or the energy to do this yourself, and you want to shift into a Rainmaker opportunity, one of the things you can do is you can do recruiting. And so you can bring people in. That's one way to increase your production. Not only do you increase the opportunities for your existing team, but you can bring on new team members by doing recruiting ads, and then you position your team as your support system, right? So that is, as a Rainmaker, you're shifting your message a little bit to not say I can help you, but to say we can help you. Another part of this is agent lunch and learns. I did a ton of agent lunch and learns. I don't know if I talk about about agent lunch and learns yet, but I am going to. I will definitely talk about that because I think that's one of the more important business building strategies we can do right now is support our real estate agent referral partners. You think you're having a hard time out there in this market right now, and I'm recording this February 2023. It's a tough market right now. You think we're having a hard time finding deals? Real estate agents have it way harder than we do because at least we can lend in the entire state that we're licensed in. The real estate agent, our partners, they're restricted to probably a geographic area, a neighborhood or a zip code or a city or something like that. And if that area, if their farm's not turning, they're not doing anything. So this is a time to support them, be there for them. If you can bring them business through your content marketing, that's fantastic. But if not, be there and teach them new skills. Teach them the skills you're learning here. Just translate it. Just take exactly what I'm saying and translate that and modify it and divert that message towards the agents. If you're interested in doing agent lunch and learns, you'll find I encourage you to reach out to me. I have a lot of experience with agent lunch and learns, and I think I'm going to do some episodes on that because that is a really, really strong business building strategy. So I'll probably unpack that in a future episode. Grow your referral partners. Create content that solves the problems that your referral partners have. So right now it's going to be a buyer's market, right? So we know it's going to be a buyer's market for a little while. That's the way this market is. So if you can help create content that generates buyers, or if you can create content with the real estate agent that talks about, is this a good time to sell your home? Because remember, a lot of people that are buying have to sell. At least a good percentage of them. So if you're creating content now, even this doesn't even have to be consumer direct content. Again, if right now your agents have the problems of exposure, right? So they don't have as much opportunity. They don't have opportunity either. This is just a market where there's not as much opportunity as there used to be. So you don't necessarily have to solve their problem of having a buyers if you're starting to do content, you can help them start building content. If you're hyper local, start doing a podcast with a local real estate agent. What are their problems right now? Their problems are they don't have a lot of activity. They don't have a lot of transactions that are coming in. So if you can create content that keeps them busy or helps them with their business in any area of their business, you're going to get that loyalty. And again, this is law of reciprocation. If you can help them now. So the last time I went on a really big lunch and learn um, sort of campaign was in 2018. Interest rates went up 0.5%, from 4.5 to 5% from August to November in 2018. And I hit the road hard because the buyers stopped buying. And it was very similar to today's market, but it was so quick and it happened so fast. The market froze a little bit like what we're experiencing now. So I hit the road and I started talking about um, how we could run Facebook ads to find consumers and to explain the market and to build an audience, precisely like what we're doing now, teaching them how to build an audience now and how to communicate with their past clients and their prospects and let them know what's going on in the market, right? Creating that content to keep them informed about the market. Because remember what well, I don't know if you watched this episode, but I say this all the time. Markets change. And right now, this is a market for building your database. And whoever has the biggest database when the market shifts favorably is going to win, because you have the fastest track to communicating with the largest number of people to advise them and inform them and guide them through what's going on in the market. Okay. And you can do that with referral partners too. You don't even need to create content that helps them specifically. You can just do a monthly or a weekly video that goes just to referral partners, that just goes to real estate agents, that talks about what kind of loans you're closing today. And they're probably DSCR loans. They're probably buy downs, temporary and permanent buy down strategies. Um, you can create content about that. So that type of content directed towards referral partners, and again, paid or organic. Yes, I would do it organically on LinkedIn. Hopefully you have a bunch of realtors on your LinkedIn that are friends with you on LinkedIn. And paid. You can buy lists of real estate agents. You can upload them as a custom audience, and you can just send your content that helps solve real estate agents' problems in this market, and just send that to them in a custom audience. Super, super powerful, super, super low cost strategy that will have referral partners calling you and saying, "Hey, I've seen your stuff. How can we work together?" Lunch and learn topics. We just talked about that. Really good topics right now: temporary versus permanent buy downs. If you have a subscription to Mortgage Currency, anybody who's in the Find My Way Home Expert Network, we give you a membership. It's included in the membership. But Mortgage Currency has some really, really cool or some really, really good materials around the buy downs. They have a good temporary versus permanent buy down calculator. They have lunch and learn slides, and they have all kinds of stuff that you can post on social media. Buy downs versus seller concessions. That's one. DSCR, bank statement loans. Owner occupied units is a really big topic right now. FHA duplexes, 3.5% down, really, really popular. In ADUs. When housing is more expensive, people look for, well, if housing is more expensive and if a life event is such that requires that you bring home a parent, bring home a kid, or you just need extra money because things are tight. So how do I create an ADU or build an ADU that I can use for to house my relatives so that we can save money there, or we can rent it out, short-term rentals, and create extra cash flow. Those are all really, really hot topics right now that I am seeing from findmywayhome.com, from the website, from that our consumers are searching for answers to these questions on Google right now. Live and in person, offer for your referral partners. Try to do as much live and in person as you possibly can. Try to do the weekly meetings. So most real estate agents or most real estate offices have a weekly sales meeting, and they're always looking for guests. So look, if you have a short presentation, call up the local real estate offices. Hey, I have a 15-minute or a 20-minute presentation, and I can teach your agents everything they need to know about how to use seller concessions and how to buy down interest rates so they can sell more homes. So that kind of thing. Check your local association of realtors. Sometimes you can pay to put on a class at the Association of Realtors, and then they will promote it to all of their membership. Sometimes you have the ability to do that if you're already a vendor or a partner with the association. Sometimes you can do local venues or restaurants. If you have a friend who owns a restaurant and their Tuesday mornings are slow, invite 12, 15 real estate agents to come down to your friend's restaurant, buy them lunch, and do a little lunch and learn class. That's also a really good thing. The other thing is, if you're doing live or in-person events, one-to-many events is what this mostly should be. You should have a crowd. Record it to use as promos for later video, or to use a promo video for later. So you have somebody record people sitting in the audience, you doing your presentation, and then you put that together to advertise your next one. So you weave that together into a video ad, or just a post that you put on LinkedIn and thank everybody for coming and say what a valuable experience that was, and how glad you were that you met everybody. Video or in webinars. Now, if you're doing videos, this is kind of evergreen. You can do videos or webinars. If you record a video, it's not live. You can push that out to a cold audience using Facebook ads. You can go to a warm audience, which is a custom audience of people that you upload. And this again is referral partners mostly. Custom audiences, you buy a list of real estate agents, you upload them into Facebook, and then you only send your video or your webinar invitation to them. Or and then what I would always do is I would always invite, I don't know if that wasn't that's hard of a word. I would always invite your current referral partners, even if you know they're not busy, even if you know they're not doing business. This is the time to love on your referral partners more than you ever have before. It's just so important now. If you're doing the webinar, whether you're just putting the video out there for people to watch, or if you're inviting them to a webinar, cold audiences, Facebook ads. Warm audiences, buy a list, send it to them. Hot audience is you go to your current referral partners and get in front of them. This isn't always about getting new business. The saying, it costs 10 times more to bring on a new client than it does to retain an existing client. So that's what we're doing, is we're really loving on our current referral partners. And best of all, ask your current referral partners, hey, is there anybody else in your office or anybody else you know in the industry that might benefit from this information? So again, it's creating value and putting it out there. Growing your referral partners, you can retarget a broader custom audience on Facebook weekly, and the click to action is invite them to a Zoom call. So really, what you're doing here is if what this is a follow-up campaign. This is a retargeting campaign. So if you put content out there and somebody watches your video, if you if so you have the custom audience, you show the video to the custom audience, and this is a Facebook ad or YouTube. I haven't used LinkedIn, so I'm not quite sure if this works, but essentially top of funnel is the video, and you're showing it to an audience that you uploaded. Anybody that clicks that video and looks at it, you can send an ad just to that person. The criteria is that they clicked on the previous video. Then that follow up is just invite them to a Zoom call. And it's just, hey, we're doing some really cool things in this market. I know it's tough. I know there's not a lot of business out there, but a group of us are trying to figure this out and we want to bring you along. Would you like to schedule a Zoom call with me? So that's the second ad that gets shown to an uploaded custom audience. The criteria for showing them that ad is that they watched the first video. And that's really, that's funnel marketing 101 on social media. Again, if you have questions about this stuff, you can reach out to me. Additional resources, a couple of really, really good friends of mine, Ginger Bell and Carl White, wrote a leadership video planner guide. This is a really, really cool book. It's basically 52 weeks, 52 ideas. It usually starts out with a quote, a really cool quote, and then it prompts you through creating content around that. So I would highly encourage you to look that up. You can find it on Amazon. It's Leadership Video Planner. Under Ginger Bell or Carl White. I haven't had Carl on here yet, but we did have Ginger on here. So if you want to learn more about her and what her passion and her mission is, you'll recognize how valuable this resource is. As always, I see so much content out there, and I see the danger of more content being created. With some of these AI content generators and things like that, that it's just generic, bland content. Always weave in your why, especially if you're trying to do team building or you're trying to grow your business or you're trying to attract business referral partners. Always weave in your why. What are your values? Why do you do this? Talk about success stories. Talk about the wins. Talk about your team, highlight your team members. Somebody did something great. These are the people that we like to surround ourselves with, and do an interview with somebody from your office that did a random act of kindness to either a referral partner or one of your client or their client, right? And really kind of show that. And there's some people out there that are doing a really, really good job of this. I've got some good friends out there. They're doing a really good job of this. And I know they're building their teams like absolute crazy in this market because they're sharing their values consistently online. And then don't be afraid to tell detailed stories. Tell a detailed story about who you are and how you got started. Don't just say, hey, we work with really great people. Why are they great people? Why is it important to you that they're great people? Tell as detailed of stories about your why as you possibly can so that people can start to visualize what it's like to work with you. Again, we're using this content so that they know, like, and trust you before they even reach out. Folks, this is the last in the niche series. There are 5 videos in this niche series. If you haven't watched all 5, I recommend you go back and find them. Working with your favorite client is about demographics, employment demographics, life event demographics, generational demographics, how to create content around groups of people that way. Hyperlocal geodomination, I call that mayorism, creating content around the loan guidelines, loan programs and loan guidelines that you specialized in. Cause-based content is how to create content around charitable events, activities, goodwill, it's really creating content for the greater good and building relationships off of that. And then this was the leadership and growth content. So, folks, the reason I do this is because I am crazy passionate about keeping consumers out of call centers. The best way to do that is to turn you guys into second opinion loan officers. And what does that mean? There are tens of thousands of consumers that go on the internet every single day with questions about qualifying for a mortgage. Those consumers are being tricked into filling out lead forms with call centers. They're having a horrible experience with the call centers. And the statistics are actually that less than 2% of those lead forms that get sent to call centers end up converting into a loan. And that is not because that consumer does not qualify. Most of the time, it's because the loan officer has only been in the business for 6 months and they have no clue on what they're doing. And if it doesn't fit perfectly into the A-paper box that their employer is looking for, they tell the consumer no. Those consumers are going back online en masse, typing in their question with a little bit more detail, looking for a second opinion. And that's how you folks get in there. There's a couple ways to get in front of those consumers. You can buy leads, or you can create content and generate those leads yourself. So if you go to, I have a free download here. If you go to mlo.expert, that is MLO, mortgage loan officer.expert, there's a free white paper there. It's like a 17-page report on how to break free from buying leads and start generating your own inbound leads and traffic. Once you go there, you are also going to be invited to our do-it-yourself content creator community. It's called the Second Opinion Loan Officer Content Creator Community. That's a mouthful. But it's a free community. There's about 100 people in there right now. I've got some really smart content creators in there sharing. That community is designed for you to be able to 100% do this yourself. This is a do-it-yourself situation. Anybody can do it, but not everybody wants to. And that is why I created the Find My Way Home Expert Network. FindMyWayHome.com is a consumer direct website that I created after the last real estate crash in 2007. And we get over 25,000 unique visitors every single month to that website from consumers that have that are looking for a second opinion about qualifying for a mortgage. So if you're looking for a done for you solution, it's a flat monthly membership, and we are going to give you a minimum of 20 conversations with consumers that have questions about qualifying for a mortgage. So we are going to give you leads today, and then you're going to have unlimited access to our production team, and we are going to do your videos for you. You have to come up with the topic, but we're going to give you the topic ideas. When you create video on the Find My Way Home Expert Network, you have a live director on the phone with you or on the computer. It's just like doing a Zoom call. So you're just going to have a conversation with a live director. We're going to edit that up. We're going to publish it. We're going to transcribe it, put it as a blog post on Find My Way Home so consumers can find it. And we're going to publish that to your YouTube channel so we can start building your traffic, your inbound high trust traffic on your YouTube channel, something that you can own. So you'll find all the links to the MLO.expert, the free download with the free community underneath. And you'll also find a link to get more information about the expert network. And if you have any other questions, there's a link in there on my Calendly link. Schedule a Zoom call with me and we can go through all of that. Folks, I hope this was helpful, and I hope you learned something from this series. This is a super, super powerful series about creating content for specific niches, really resonating with the one consumer you want to work with. So I hope this was helpful. Again, any questions, reach out to me. I'm real easy to find. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you on the next episode.